Welcome to the Crimsafe Endurance Countdown. I'm Ben Beasley with Warren Luff, and today we're going to talk about the Walkinshaw cars, or in particular the super cheap car of Tim Slade, who'll be with Tony D'Alberto, and the Team 18 car, the Charlie Schwarkolt car, which is Lee Holsworth and Sebastian Bourdais. Pretty cool to have another Frenchie coming down.
Yeah, look, it's fantastic to have Sebastian come back, and look, he's been doing fantastic in IndyCar this year. But look, a lot of people forget he's actually got a fair amount of V8 supercar experience. He's won on the Gold Coast before, back when we obviously had the international drivers come out, and he was incredibly fast. I think a lot of people are excited to see Sebastian come back, obviously to have him race at Bathurst, just to see what he can potentially do. And again, as we've spoken about before, when your championship hasn't quite gone to plan, you really look forward to these endurance races. Obviously, Tim and Tony, they finished on the podium last year at the Gold Coast. Again, obviously for Lee on the other side of the garage, he's looking for his maiden podium under the Walkinshaw Racing banner. So these guys have really got a lot to prove this year. They both desperately want success, and what better way to do that than come Enduro time. Lee
Holsworth, geez, Sandown, big crash. And then unfortunately he ended up on his roof again at Bathurst. So he's probably one of these guys. I mean, everyone will have a story about that they're owed something this year, but he's probably one of the guys who'd really like to come back and have 3 real strong races.
Hey, look, don't talk to me about ending up on your roof at Bathurst. I know what that feeling's like. Yeah, look, obviously Enduro time last year was a tough one for Lee, and obviously he'd love to sort of turn that around this year. So I think with obviously Sebastian coming on board, they're a great combo. It's an exciting combination, and it'll be great to see what those guys are capable of doing.
Also, then you look at Tim Slade. Now, amongst other things, he goes to Bathurst with his car sponsor also sponsoring the race in Super Cheap. So he'll get a little bit of attention, but he's a guy who, you know, he's got a couple of good results, but his actual ability is a whole lot better than that. Really, those results have shown, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And again, with having Tony D'Alberto partnering him, Tony's been doing a great job in the GT Championship this year. He had a win at Townsville, so there's a great synergy with those guys there. It's their second year partnering up together. So again, those guys are going to be really strong, and they both love Bathurst, and who wouldn't love to walk away with a Bathurst podium?
Well, let's hear it from the guys within the Walkinshaw side of that garage.
Lee, heading into the Enduros, you've got an international co-driver, Sebastian Bourdais. He's coming in a bit cold, so how do you think he's going to slip into the routine, at Sandown?
Oh yeah, I don't think it'd be too much of a problem for Sebastian. I think we've got a full test day, and I'd say he'll be spending a lot of time in the car that day, getting comfortable. We know he's very quick in these cars, so there'll be no dramas there. And Sandown, not such a technical track, so Sandown's not the worry. It's Bathurst. We'll get him on a simulator or something to get him used to that one, and hopefully it'll be all guns blazing by the time we get there. And obviously we'll have to spend plenty of time in the car, and but I feel like we're getting a better car for him at this stage. We're building on that, and should have a good one for him.
Have you had any dialogue with him in the last few months? Has he sort of asked any questions, asking about any pointers about Bathurst, given that he hasn't been there before, obviously?
No, I haven't actually. I know he's pretty excited. It's probably one race that all those guys would love to do. So he's excited about the opportunity. Obviously, he's watched it plenty of times on telly, and just can't wait to get his hands behind the wheel.
Okay, Tim, heading into the Pirtek Enduro Cup campaign, how are you feeling about this year's campaign?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the recent few races we haven't been exactly where we want to be speed-wise as a team, but just getting our heads around another base setup, which is different from I guess what we were confident with at the start of the year. So it's awesome to be paired up with Tony again. He's managed to keep himself, race fit with some miles in GT, and really everything's exactly how it was last year. So I think it'll be good.
And Tony, obviously you've been keeping yourself busy out of the car, out of V8 supercars. Just how are you feeling heading into this one?
Like Tim said, I've been trying to do a bit of GT racing just to keep my hand in, so I don't get to the Enduros and sort of haven't raced a lot. But really looking forward to it. we had some really good results last year, and we want to try and build upon that for this campaign.
So there you go, that's the guys from the Super Cheap car and also the Team 18 car, giving you the background of how they're going to approach these big races at Sandown, Bathurst and the Gold Coast. Stay tuned here to speedcafe.com as we continue the Crimsafe Endurance Countdown.
Shut the door on scary. With the one and only Crimsafe. Installed by licensed Crimsafe technicians, partnered with Crime Stoppers. Up to 15 years warranty. If it's not Crimsafe, it's not Crimsafe. Only at licensed dealers. Visit crimsafe.com.au.